Ni hao, Taiwan! I am very happy to be back to Taiwan. I love the country. Wo ai Taiwan! It is an amazing place. It is so beautiful. The food is incredible. Every time I come back, the people are so warm and nice that I always want to do business and have a vacation in Taiwan. My name is Steve Hoffman. In Silicon Valley, they call me Captain Hoff because I am the captain and chairman of Founderspace. Founderspace is one of the world's leading incubators and accelerators. We have over 50 partners in 22 countries. And as you know, I'm the author of Make Elephants Fly, which is all about the process of radical innovation. And I travel all over the world. Last year, I spent 70% of my time traveling all across Europe, all across Asia. I spent a lot of time here in Taiwan, as well as China, South Korea, Japan, Malaysia, and I love to work with entrepreneurs. I love to teach entrepreneurs and help them grow their businesses. And I am so happy that I'm back in Taiwan working with my partners here to help build the ecosystem and the country. I am working with startups globally. Founderspace has grown very fast in the past few years. We are setting up incubators all over the world. We have Founderspace in Beijing, Shanghai, Wuhan, Xi'an, Chengdu. We work very closely with the Korean government, running many programs in Korea. We just launched in Singapore. We are going to launch soon in Malaysia. And of course, here in Taiwan, we work very closely with our partners and your government. We work with eTree, and we have done a lot with eTree, helping entrepreneurs here in Taiwan grow their businesses, as well as helping entrepreneurs come to Silicon Valley and start their companies there. I also am now working with Haoshi Foundation, which is all about food technology and startups. And that is why I'm here right now on this trip. Our mission and my personal passion is to teach entrepreneurs. I believe there's a lot of venture capital out there, but the reason entrepreneurs struggle is because they don't understand how to build their business, how to get it off the ground. And if we can help entrepreneurs do that, then the money comes. It's actually, once your business is going, it's easy to raise money. And so it's my mission for the entrepreneurs here to help inspire them, as well as help them understand how to overcome all the roadblocks to building a successful business. There's one thing I've learned about Asian entrepreneurs, and that is that all across Asia, whether you're in Taiwan, Korea, China, Japan, Asian entrepreneurs work incredibly hard. They are so driven. They'll work, weekends and nights. They won't sleep. They'll have lots of stress. They really want to make their businesses a success. I would say Asian entrepreneurs work much harder than European entrepreneurs or American entrepreneurs. We're a little more relaxed. We take our weekends off and we have fun. We work hard, but we don't kill ourselves. Now, my advice for Asian entrepreneurs is it's really good to work hard. I mean, that's really important for every entrepreneur all around the world. But working too hard can actually be counterproductive. Because if you are not working on the right problem, it doesn't matter how much energy you put into the project. You can work day and night and day and night, but if you're going the wrong direction, you end up going nowhere. So the important thing, the most important thing for entrepreneurs is to understand the right direction, where to put your energy, and then work at a pace that you can have a balanced life. You work hard and you still can enjoy life and have a lot of positive energy. And that is one of the things that I teach. My advice for entrepreneurs is when you come up with an idea, a new idea for your business or for a project that you're working on, don't just jump on the idea and go. Because usually your first idea, the idea that comes to you, is almost never right. It's almost never the idea that takes off and becomes a big business. We have learned that innovation and creativity is about experimentation. So my advice for all entrepreneurs is at the beginning, when you are starting your business or starting a new project, instead of focusing on the idea, on coming up with the best idea possible, just pick a direction. Say, I'm interested in learning about artificial intelligence and employee safety, or some topic. I want to work in this area. I don't know what the idea is. And then focus on building a team. The startups that take off are the ones that bring in the best team, all the smartest people with different complementary skill sets, so they can work together and figure out what the best idea is. Let me give you an example of a startup that has done really well that you all know of, but had the wrong idea at first. And that is Google. So we all think Google, wow, they just had the right idea and then boom, they went up and became this amazing company. Well, originally, the founders of Google thought they were doing a nonprofit. They thought they would make no money, which is crazy because it's one of the richest, fastest growing companies in the world. But their original idea wasn't to build the Google search engine. It was to help professors in universities find academic research papers online. It was a small idea, but they were interested and they were pursuing it in graduate school. And then later, they figured out we could take this technology we've developed and apply it to finding anything on the internet. And that's when Google went big. So if you look at most great startups around the world, they start with one idea and then they change and change and change. And eventually they figure out what's really working. The one thing all these companies have in common is that they have really strong teams and strong leaders. Make Elephants Fly is all about how you innovate, how you take a big idea, the biggest idea you can have, right? That's your elephant. But it seems impossible to get an elephant off the ground, your big idea. The book actually shows you how to get that elephant off the ground and flying, becoming a reality. Now, the book takes entrepreneurs and business people step by step through the process from idea all the way to building a successful business. It's all about that process of innovation. How do you break down an idea and really test it and validate it against a market so that you know that this idea is not just something in your head, but it's something that can actually grow and scale into a unicorn, a big company that can attract venture capital and can actually go out and change the world. A lot of the best ideas for businesses are ideas that the entrepreneur discovers through the process of creating the business. They weren't there originally. They were some little part of the business. Let me give you an example of how to think small but build a big company. So we all know the startup Instagram. They're very famous. The founders of Instagram actually launched another app first. And this other app was a check-in app where you would check in for your location, like Foursquare. They kept adding features to this app, all these new features to get the app to take off. But the app, which was called Bourbon, went nowhere. It was just going along. It wasn't growing. And they became very frustrated, like so many entrepreneurs. And they're like, how do we make this a success? We thought we had a big idea. And then they started to look very carefully at the app itself, and they noticed that users in the app weren't using all the features. they were just using 2 of the features. The 2 features they liked were the filters on the photos and sharing the photos on Facebook. So they had this idea. We're going to take those 2 small features and we're going to build a new application, and we're going to call it Instagram. As soon as they launched Instagram, because those were the 2 things people wanted, boom, the small idea, the small part of a bigger project became their whole business. It's very important when you're innovating to actually not start with too big an idea. Many entrepreneurs think of this big idea, they raise lots of money, like a big budget, and that actually kills the startup. Because as soon as you start bringing in money, a lot of money, the first thing you do is start hiring people, you start assigning them work, they start moving in a direction, when really, if you haven't figured out what works yet, all that money sends you off in the wrong direction. The most important thing in the early stages of innovation is to be very flexible. And that means doing things very quickly in a small amount of time. That means keeping a lot of little projects going and doing these small experiments so that you can gather knowledge each time you change something, each time you try a new direction. And only when something actually starts to grow on its own, that's when you want it to become big. Before you have a product market fit, the most important thing is to keep flexible and go through what I call the innovation loop as quickly and as many times as possible. I am really impressed with Taiwan in that the young people here are very well educated. They have really good educations, really good universities here in Taiwan, and many of the students also go abroad to America and other places. They come back, they are very smart, and they really want to succeed. But they have trouble because building a unicorn, building a startup that becomes a big company like Facebook or Google or Alibaba, it's really hard. There are very few unicorns that are created. So what Taiwan entrepreneurs need to do is they need to understand the dynamics of this country. So Taiwan is a small country. It's a small island, and it's a small market. If you're going to build a unicorn, Taiwanese entrepreneurs have to think outside Taiwan. They have to think global from day one. It doesn't mean they shouldn't start their business here. They should. This is a great test market. They can test their product, gain resources, figure things out here in Taiwan. But when they want to launch their business, they have to make sure that it will either be adopted in the American market, the European market, the Chinese market, or the Japanese market. You need a large market to grow a unicorn. Fortunately, Taiwan is in a unique position. It's a very multicultural country with a lot of historic ties. Taiwan has strong relationships with the United States. It has a history with Japan and connections there. And it also has, Chinese as its native language and all the history with China. So that gives Taiwanese entrepreneurs a lot of options for where they can go with their business. Some are some of the top venture capitalists in the world. There are many great Taiwanese entrepreneurs. Taiwan itself has had a history of being very entrepreneurial with Acer, Compal, Foxconn, the National Semiconductor, all these amazing businesses. My challenge is for the next generation, the new generation of young Taiwanese entrepreneurs, to go a step further. And I want to challenge all of you because it's really up to you. Taiwan has all the resources, has all the knowledge and all the freedom for you to do whatever you want. It's really just about what you tell yourself you can do or you can't do. So I'm asking you to think, don't put limits on yourself. Never say an idea is too big to do, because it's simply not true. In today's world, with the resources out there, you can get it done. And I personally come to Taiwan because I want to help Taiwanese entrepreneurs do it. I want to help you do it. So I hope together, all of us can go out there and start creating great companies, companies that really change not just the Taiwanese economy and the Taiwanese society, but have a huge impact on the world, on the global economy. That's my challenge to all of you.